and an act of revenge for Russian strikes against civilian targets in Ukraine. In one of the largest aerial attacks of the war to date, Ukraine launched a massive overnight drone strike across multiple regions of Russia, targeting critical military and industrial infrastructure. Russian sources reported that approximately 150 unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, were detected in the skies during the assault, marking a significant escalation in Ukraine's long-range strike capabilities. One of the primary targets was Tatarstan, specifically the city of Yelabuga, home to a key facility involved in the production of Iranian-designed Shahed drones, which Russia has used extensively throughout the war. The strike appears to have been aimed at disrupting drone manufacturing capabilities. Additional strikes were reported in the Ivanovo region, where Ukrainian drones reportedly hit a chemical plant and in an alloy production facility, further underscoring Kiev's focus on industrial infrastructure supporting the Russian war effort. In the Tula region, local sources reported over 12 explosions. Power outages were confirmed across several districts, indicating likely damage to energy infrastructure or transmission lines. Meanwhile, in the Tver region, Ukrainian drones reportedly struck a military unit. Residents described hearing multiple loud explosions during the night. While Russian authorities have yet to provide full details on the extent of the damage, the scale and coordination of the strikes suggest a major operational push by Ukrainian forces. This comes amid an intensified phase of the conflict, with Ukraine increasingly relying on deep strike capabilities to degrade Russian military and industrial assets far from the front lines. Footage from yesterday's attack on a Russian military facility shows a Ukrainian drone shot down at close range. I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. Something happened to this guy and I don't like it. No shit, genius.
Well, yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
After Russia's brutal attack on Ukraine, Trump kicks off by reminding us he had a very good relationship with Putin, says Putin has gone crazy, blames Zelensky for causing problems, and, yet again, rants that this war would never have started if he were president. When will he stop this delusional self-obsession and start showing real leadership? Peace through strength, not ego through repetition? I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. He is needlessly killing a lot of people, and I'm not just talking about soldiers. Missiles and drones are being shot into cities in Ukraine for no reason whatsoever. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, and maybe that's proving to be right, but if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Likewise, President Zelensky is doing his country no favors by talking the way he does. Everything out of his mouth causes problems. I don't like it, and it better stop. This is a war that would never have started if I were president. This is Zelensky's, Putin's, and Biden's war, not Trump's. I'm only helping to put out the big and ugly fires that have been started through gross incompetence and hatred. And while Trump is looking weak for Putin, Russia is overwhelming Ukraine's air defenses with massive drone and missile attacks. On May 25th, nearly 300 drones and 69 missiles targeted Ukrainian cities, a new record. If ceasefire talks fail, Ukraine may soon have to ration interceptors as more attacks get through. In one of his toughest speeches since the war began, Senator Lindsey Graham warned Russia to end the bloodshed or face bone-crushing sanctions. He called out China and India as enablers if they continue buying Russian oil, declared the U.S. will no longer be a bystander, and affirmed that the Senate is taking the lead. And there is also Representative Don Bacon. It's time to arm Ukraine to the teeth and impose maximum sanctions on Russia. He stressed that peace talks have no effect on Putin and called for honesty about his goal, to dominate Ukraine. Putin will only stop when he knows he cannot win. NATO is working to secure a spot for President Zelensky at the upcoming summit in The Hague, says Dutch Defense Minister Brekkelmans. While Zelensky likely won't join the main meeting of 32 NATO leaders, NATO aims to find him a place during the two-day event. The U.S. reportedly has reservations. Satellite images confirm damage to the energy plant in Yelets. More confirmation. Satellite images reveal damage from drone strikes on the AO Energia plant in Yelets, Lipetsk region. The facility, producing batteries for Iskander missiles and guided bombs, suffered significant damage. And back to the battlefields. Ukraine's 413th Unmanned Systems Regiment RAID destroyed a Russian Buk missile system launcher and radar station. The 413th Unmanned Systems Regiment RAID is one of Ukraine's newest and most advanced military units, specializing in drone warfare. Formed in 2024, RAID operates a wide arsenal of unmanned aerial systems, from short-range FPV drones to long-range strike UAVs capable of hitting targets hundreds of kilometers behind enemy lines. The regiment is believed to be behind many high-profile precision strikes on Russian infrastructure, including oil depots, radar stations, and drone production plants. With a mix of combat-tested operators and cutting-edge tech, RAID symbolizes Ukraine's shift toward high-tech, asymmetric warfare, projecting power deep into Russian territory without risking personnel on the ground. The UK sees connection between Russia and the recent arson attack on Prime Minister Starmer's residence. UK police are looking into whether Russia was behind recent arson attacks on properties connected to Prime Minister Keir Starmer. 2 Ukrainians and a Romanian have been charged, and investigators are now checking if they were working for Russian interests as part of a wider sabotage effort across Europe. The Kremlin has rejected claims of potential Russian involvement in alleged arson attacks at properties connected to Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, calling them ludicrous. It comes after media reports that UK security officials are investigating a potential link following 3 incidents earlier this month. In response, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Monday, "London tends to suspect Russia of involvement in all the bad things happening in Great Britain. As a rule, all these suspicions are groundless and not backed up with any evidence." 3 men, 2 Ukrainian nationals and a Romanian man, have been charged as part of a police investigation into the attacks. Several UK newspapers have claimed MI5 is investigating the possibility the attacks were ordered by the Kremlin, citing unnamed Whitehall officials. Last week, Ukrainian national Petro Pochinok, 34, from North London, was charged by the Metropolitan Police with conspiracy to commit arson with intent to endanger life. 2 other men have also been charged in connection with the fires. Roman Lavrinovich, 21, has been charged with arson with intent to endanger life, while Stanislav Karpiuk, 26, has been charged with conspiracy to commit arson with intent to endanger life. The 3 men, who have already appeared in court for initial hearings, have been remanded in custody until the next scheduled hearing at the Old Bailey in London on the 6th of June. On the 8th of May, a car the Prime Minister had sold to a neighbor caught fire on the Kentish town street where he lived before moving to Downing Street. 3 days later, firefighters dealt with a small fire at the front door of an Islington house, where Sir Keir lived during the 1990s, and which has since been converted into flats. On 12th May, the fire brigade and police were called to a fire at the Prime Minister's private home on the same street as where the car fire took place. Sir Keir previously described the incidents as an attack on all of us, on democracy and the values that we stand for. Downing Street and the Metropolitan Police have so far declined to comment on reports that potential Russian involvement is being investigated. The last Dutch F-16 fighter jets designated for Ukraine have departed the Netherlands. On May 26, 2025, the aircraft left Volkel Air Base for Belgium, where they will be prepared for transfer. The Dutch Ministry of Defense confirmed the move in a statement. This is a nostalgic moment because the F-16s have played an important role in our Air Force for decades. But now, as we say goodbye to them in the transition to the F-35, I can't think of a better destination than Ukraine. Faced with daily Russian airstrikes, these jets are of vital importance to Ukraine and to us, said Defense Minister Ruben Brekelmans. He minister also emphasized the unprecedented speed of the transfer. In peacetime, this would take years. Now it has been completed in record time. That is a remarkable achievement by Ukrainian pilots and technicians. But on our side, too, our personnel have made extraordinary efforts to make this happen. I'm deeply grateful for that, Brekelmans added. According to the ministry, while the transfer of aircraft is complete, the Netherlands' involvement in the F-16 program for Ukraine remains ongoing. The country will continue to provide comprehensive support to keep the jets operational, including training, spare parts, ammunition, and fuel. Ukrainian pilots are currently being trained at the European F-16 Training Center in Romania, which operates 18 Dutch F-16s. The Netherlands also plans to establish a training facility for ground personnel at the same location. The Netherlands formally agreed to transfer 24 F-16 fighters and 7 spare jet engines to Ukraine in July 2024. The F-16 was officially retired from Dutch service in late September 2024, following a farewell flight over several Dutch cities. The first batch of F-16s was delivered to Ukraine in early October 2024. Spare parts and maintenance equipment worth €80 million were included in the package. The second batch was delivered in February 2025, alongside France's initial transfer of Mirage 2000-5F multi-role fighters. The third delivery followed in April 2025, announced together with Dutch funding for Hawk air defense systems and the transfer of a Patriot air defense command post. The fourth and final batch was announced by Defense Minister Brekelmans on Sunday, May 25th, during an appearance on the TV program WNL op Zondag. He stated that the last Dutch F-16s would be delivered to Ukraine on Monday.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.